welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jazzy. This is my husband, Dominic, and we are finally filming our elopement trip for you guys.
Well, we already filmed.
Well, we filmed it, but we have to talk to you guys about it. And I have the video edited, so we were thinking about doing a voiceover, but we're going to do this instead. We are going to watch this video that I edited for my bachelorette party, because for those of you that have been here a while, you know that I edited this whole entire video for my bachelorette party, and then we all watched it together. When we watched it together, I kind of went over what happens in it, but it was set to instrumental, so we kind of wanted to talk it through with you guys while we're showing everything. So let's just dive on in. So the first thing we did was fly into Paris. We had a layover there. It was supposed to only be a 2-hour layover, and it ended up being all day. So
that's because we missed our flight.
Yes.
And it didn't tell us where the gate was.
Yeah.
And then we made it to the gate, and the plane had actually taken off before we even landed.
Well, it wasn't really before we landed, but most of us didn't make it.
It was before we deboarded the plane.
Yeah, there was 10 people that didn't make it.
Yeah.
And another thing is, if you have a layover in Paris, you have to go through customs, and Dominic got lost in customs.
I got lost in customs. I got pulled by customs as part of a random search.
Because I think because you had a hat on and glasses.
Probably.
And so I didn't know where he went for a good 5 minutes. I was freaking out.
Yeah, that was
thinking
funny.
I was stranded in Paris without him.
That was really funny.
And when we first got to the Paris airport, I just remember thinking this is not going to be a good time, because it was kind of scary. Everything was in a different language. Nobody spoke our language. And it was pretty scary.
No, plenty of people spoke English. They just didn't want to talk to us.
They just weren't talking.
We didn't speak French.
Well, they didn't know we didn't speak French. It was scary. That's all. I was really nervous that our whole entire trip in Italy was going to be that way as well. So we ended up missing our flight, and it was horrible because we never slept on the plane. We were planning on sleeping the following day, the whole entire day. We were planning on sleeping. We even had a night tour scheduled for that following night, because we thought we'd sleep during the day and it'd be 6-hour difference. It'd be great. We'd go on our night tour. Well, obviously we were stuck in Paris, and we weren't just stuck for a couple hours.
Oh,
it was all day.
9-hour layover in Paris.
9-hour layover the whole entire day. I was just bawling my eyes out. Dominic and I were sleeping wherever we could find a place to sleep. I was sleeping on the floor at one point, and this lady pushed me out of the way with her cart. It was horrible. Also, it was good that we had our little layover, because we ended up getting a croissant, and we ended up getting a couple of macaroons while we were there.
A couple of sandwiches.
They actually gave us a $20, was it 20 or 30? So they gave us a certain amount of money that we could spend. It wasn't enough for airport food, especially not in Paris.
No, that was fun. It just wasn't enough for the hassle.
And for the length of time we were there. We really should have complained afterwards and got more money. But we didn't, because we're in Rome.
We weren't. We were in Paris.
Yeah, but then we were in Rome. And so, you don't have time to be dealing with that. But once we finally got into Rome, we met with our Airbnb host, and he showed us our Airbnb. And we ended up ordering pizza from this place that he recommended. And
it was good pizza.
It was good pizza. We actually ate there 3 times, or was it only 2?
And it was very inexpensive. We ate there, I think, 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those pizzas were 12 euros.
Yeah.
It was
Well, and we got bruschetta too.
We did
that first night. And the view was spectacular on our patio. And then this is a little view out the window. This is just a view of a lady putting some clothes on. I was very entranced by that at the time. Dominic was quit being a creeper. So I zoomed in. Oh man.
And then we went to the store, and look at the size of these peppers.
They were massive, literally huge. And we were staying in a little town called Trastevere, and Trastevere is this beautiful cobblestone walkway. It reminds me a lot of, well, it doesn't remind me of Boston, but Boston reminds me of Trastevere. Just that one street in Boston that is cobblestone. The entirety of Trastevere is cobblestone streets. It's so beautiful. It all has vinery. You guys will see a lot of videos from it.
And here, this is the Pantheon. So this is one of the tours that we took, and the unfortunate part here is that at the Pantheon, it's considered a church, so you're not allowed to wear a hat, and you're not allowed to have your shoulders uncovered. So our tour guide was nice enough to slap my hat off my head and give Jazz his jacket. But that's how you got those couple of weird pictures of us.
Literally, he took the phone out of my hand for the photo you're looking at right now and put it on the ground in the middle of the Pantheon where people are just like walking all over.
And then goes, smile.
It was so funny. Dominic did not know what to do. Meanwhile, I'm like, but it was great, and it was really nice that he like gave me his jacket too. I was a little concerned at first because I was like, that ain't gonna fit me. When he at first he was like, well, I have a jacket you can use, but then he told me I just had to put it over my shoulder, so we were Gucci.
He was an excellent guide.
He was really a great guide. Well, I'll link everybody down below as well, all of the different tours that we did in Rome, because like honestly, we didn't have a bad tour the whole entire time we were there. Every single person was phenomenal. So then we went out to eat at this little restaurant, and it was really cute. There was nobody there when we first got there.
Which we should have seen as a red flag, but the culture in Italy regarding food is very different. They have a couple hours where it's like a lunch period where everybody takes off of work, everybody eats, they have a nice, meal together, and then they have a small break in between, and then dinner starts up. And we did not know any of this.
No, and we were eating at normal person time in our brains. Also, we were messed up. We were pretty messed up at that time because of the time difference situation that we were going through.
6-hour difference, and then while we were there, the time changed in the middle of it, and it was a mess. It was kind of crazy. But after we had dinner there, also one more thing about Italy, they put bread down at your table. Don't eat the bread.
You don't
tell them you don't want the bread.
Don't eat it. Tell them you don't want it, because if they put bread down at your table, you're paying for that bread, whether you want to eat it or not.
And it's not inexpensive bread. It's good bread, but it's not inexpensive.
It wasn't bad considering that you don't have to tip, and everybody there was so great. Like all of the servers were amazing. Actually, that place specifically, I ordered a pasta with some sort of ham.
She got a type of carbonara in it.
It was interesting.
It was easily the worst thing we ate there.
It was, definitely. But the guy was so excited about it when I ordered it. And then after, I actually didn't eat much of it at all. And he actually asked, did you not like it? I think he was, going to refund us. It was crazy. That was, our first experience where we were like, okay, people here be different. Because he was like, if you didn't like it, he kind of, looked like if I didn't like it, they were going to get me something else, or I don't know. Well,
okay, baby.
So after that, we went back to our Airbnb, and this is just our elevator, which was so dope. We did have to ride up separately because your girl couldn't be in it with him. Because
I don't think two of me would have fit in there either.
I don't know what the weight limit was, but it didn't say what the weight limit was, but it was a really cool elevator still. And then we went out for our night tour. So this was the scheduled night tour that we had been able to reschedule with our guy, who was amazing.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. One thing that I really loved about Italy was people were very conscious of each other and their time restraints and everything else. But if they didn't have anything to do, they were perfectly content to just hang out with you. So we're going through this night tour. We do the whole thing. We started a little bit late because we went to the wrong spot. He actually came to come get us.
Oh my gosh,
rush us.
He came to come get us at these, it was like the stairs of hell. It was Capitol building there. But the stairs there, we thought he wanted us to meet him at the top of these stairs. So we walked up to the top of the stairs, and I sent him a picture of where we were, and he was like, oh, I'll meet you guys there. And then he had us meet him halfway down the stairs and did a whole show for he was having a whole conversation with us. Well, my ankle's breaking because we were sloped. I was like, you need to move.
Yeah, it was weird.
Anyway, what you were saying, I'm sorry.
So he does the whole tour, and then we sat there with him for another 3 hours just chit-chatting in the middle of the street. And I will say this, I'm pretty confident at night, just in general, I guess you could say. But at 4 a.m. in Italy, there was one situation that whole time, those 3 hours that we were all standing there, that I was a little weirded out, and it was by a guy who wouldn't stop staring at the guide's camera.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't feel that safe here in the daytime.
No, not at all. And we were surrounded by every American red flag possible. There's graffiti everywhere. Things are run down. People are drinking. People are, yelling at each other. All that type of fun stuff. And we were just relax. It was very odd.
It was really interesting. We were just going for like a casual stroll. It felt like he was awesome. I cannot recommend him enough because it actually felt like it felt like we just knew him. Like he was just an old friend that we were visiting in Rome.
For sure.
And like we literally stood with him. Our thing was only supposed to be till 10 or was it 11?
It started
it was 10
at 10
to 1. And he stayed with us till 4 a.m. So we ended up staying out with him till 4 a.m. So that's an extra like 3 hours, and he didn't charge us for that.
It was phenomenal.
And he was having a great time. He said next time we come to ask him we'll go get drinks. Like
and trust me, you'll buy the man drinks.
Yeah, he was.
For sure.
He was amazing.
Phenomenal.
He was a photographer, so he did take a couple of pictures of us as well. While we were there, and this is the Capitol building.
That's actually where we climbed up all your steps.
Yeah, but it was around the corner a little bit. He was waiting for us
close
there.
Enough. That place was probably the funniest story that we heard was about how that was Mussolini's mansion, and now it's the toilets.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know if that's what they call it, but that's where the toilets are.
Oh, really? Then we made our way to the Trevi Fountain, which I was super excited to see, and I'm kind of bummed that we only saw it at nighttime. Because we did not go back during the day at all. It was beautiful at nighttime, but we were there at like 1 in the morning, and there was like a bunch of people there.
Yeah, it was actually really crazy. And then they have like a live camera feed all day, so that way you can see. And it was packed all the time, which is why we never went back.
Yeah, I'll link the camera feed down below just in case any of you guys are going, because it's actually really cool. You can like see how many people are there at all hours of the day. And then these people got proposed to, and it was so cute.
Well, the guy. They did.
She was so happy.
But they were very excited. And then this is just some random building. I think it was some type of government building, but all of those divots were where gold and statues used to be, and were basically removed every single time Rome has been conquered, which has been enough times. But it was all used to basically funnel out of Rome, which again, you can't really see it in there, but there's divots all over the place.
Okay, so that was the Pantheon. Like, this was the door we walked through when we first went there. Wow, and it's a lot smaller at nighttime.
It does, but those doors are apparently some type of very special construction where you can literally open it one person, one hand, and they each weigh like 4 tons. And they're
like super heavy doors. Yeah. Like 4 tons, you said.
And then this is the Fountain of the 4 Rivers, I think is what it's called. And it's like the 4 major rivers, and then each corner has a different statue depending on the river, and I don't remember what all the rivers are.
I don't either. So then we headed back toward Trastevere, which was actually really amazing. He actually walked us back like to where we were staying, which if you guys have been to Rome or if you guys are going to Rome, it's massive. Like it was totally huge. And it was just the 2 of us on the tour, so he could like kind of gear it towards what we really wanted to see. Although we did not get to see the Spanish Steps, which was kind of a bummer.
So this is a different tour we were on, and this one's a food tour.
This was the following night.
And this one was kind of cool because we actually met a nice couple out of Florida, which was funny. And then they were out of Florida, right?
Yes, saying hello to Kim and...
Not Kim.
Not Kim. I don't remember the guy's name, but only because Kim was very, like, nice. She was so friendly.
I mean, they were both very nice.
They were both very nice, but she, like, got so excited when we told her we were getting married.
And then there was a German family that was there, and then our tour guide was Italian. It was a really cool experience, but we got to see all sorts of different street food, and then this was actually a wine cellar that was in the... There's not Kim.
That's Kim right there.
Wine cellar that was actually underneath an extremely famous restaurant whose name I don't remember, that was right around the corner from where we were staying, and it was very cool to be able to see that type of experience on just a food tour. Yeah, the food tour itself was dope, honestly, because we actually got to try something called soupli while we were there, and it was so great, so delicious. And we never would have tried soupli had we not gone on this food tour because we didn't know what soupli was. And then like we just got to try a whole bunch of different little things. The start of the tour was kind of like
not as great just because nobody knew each other. You know how it's kind of awkward when there's a bunch of people? But by the end of the tour, we were all friends. Like, I almost thought we were going to get gelato together at the end.
We did get gelato.
We did get gelato, but then, like, I almost felt like we were going to walk together through the area because everybody was so friendly. But anyway, moving on, or we're still on that night, but it's the best one.
Jazz fascinated by a group of vehicles that aren't trucks and cars.
I mean, it's pretty cool. There was a lot of us there. This is like the downtown area, the little square in Trastevere. We actually never really went to this area other than at the night tour. Yeah. Okay, this was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole entire like experience going to Italy.
Yeah.
We were walking down this like corridor, and I might have a video where you can hear the sound, but these like in these buildings, they were I think there was a school maybe on the other side, and this was like a school building or something, but there was some sort of choir practice going on.
Church.
Was it church?
Yeah.
Really?
Italians are huge into Catholicism.
Okay, maybe it was church, but either way.
We literally like took pictures at the Vatican.
No, I know there's a lot of churches there. I just didn't know that this was a church night, the night that we went to this. But I guess maybe every night's a church night.
Yeah.
But anyway, we could hear them singing. Like, it was so crazy because, like, they were singing and it was bouncing off the walls, and it was just such a beautiful experience that, like, you don't have here. Although recently, we heard a guy singing at McDonald's, and it was interesting.
We did?
Yeah, I remember the guy, we thought he was screaming, and we actually thought he was shooting up McDonald's.
Oh, that was a different conversation.
And he was just singing, I guess.
He was very loud.
Yeah, but you don't see that here, and if you do, you think it's crazy, right? But there, like, obviously these people weren't singing on the streets, although there were a lot of people singing on the streets, but it was just cool to, like, hear the music bounce off the walls like that. I have never experienced something like that, and we actually got to experience it twice that night because we really experienced it with everyone at the beginning. And the weirdest part was our tour guide like didn't recognize that it was cool, probably because she hears it all the time, but like she was walking and talking to us, and we all, literally every single one of us, stopped in our tracks and was like, what the heck is going on right now? Yeah. It was so cool.
Choir practice.
It's beautiful. Just standing out here every night.
Yes. I don't know, maybe. I don't know people who lives here like, oh my god.
We went to the Vatican, and these two people directly in front of us were also on the tour with us.
Yeah, they were from Milan, and they were approaching us at first for the tour, and like I was checking them out. I was like, holy crap, they are fancy. Meanwhile, Dominic just not dressed up at all. We weren't. We were in like jeans, I was wearing leggings, and then these two stroll up, and I'm like, are you guys performers for this event or something? It was so cool, but they were actually really nice.
Yeah, they were.
Shout out to them. I don't know either of their names.
I remember Brandon because he was from Arkansas.
Oh yeah, he's a singer. If anybody recognizes him.
Yeah, he was some guy.
He was some singer. But yeah, we went to...
But the Vatican is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Almost unrealistically beautiful. You could spend months there and not see everything.
Yeah.
Shout out to the tour guide, Luigi.
Luigi was amazing. At one point, his glasses popped out of his frame.
Yeah.
It was so funny. His glasses just flew out. Oh, it was a good time.
But we had a number of amazing views, and then views of the architecture, the ceilings.
Unreal.
You could literally spend forever there and still not see everything and see something different each and every time.
It was literally magical. Like looking at this, I can't believe we actually saw that in person.
Hey, remember all that gold? You're seeing it.
Really? They put it in here?
It was all over.
Oh my gosh.
All over.
So pretty.
Because the Pantheon's a pagan temple. It was a temple for the gods. And then this is the center of the Catholic Church.
If you guys can't tell, Dominic paid attention.
I paid a lot of attention.
I paid attention to Luigi's eyeglasses popping out of his head.
Yeah.
I had different priorities apparently, but it was very beautiful, and like you're just really more into like history and stuff like that, where I'm more into weird things.
Like people's eyeglasses popping out.
This was pretty though. This was the what was this?
I don't know.
You don't know? You have to know. It's a very important building.
That wasn't St. Peter's.
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, that's St. Peter's.
That is
right
St.
there.
Peter's. My bad. Yeah, that's St. Peter's Basilica, which was equally beautiful and equally time-consuming as far as what you could and could not see. And
I can't wait to go back because
that was...
like we could have spent forever just in that alone, but we somehow got lost and left. Like we took an exit on accident, and it brought us down under St. Peter's Basilica, and we got to see all of the dead people.
Yeah, there's the tombs of the popes and all that type of fun stuff. It was...
There we word it. The dead people. But it was really cool. Like you got to walk through, like, I mean, they're all buried under there. Like, I never knew that. Did you know that before?
Probably.
So this was just me going up the elevator. The elevator was just really cool. And then this was a side street near where we were staying. We actually ended up going to get pasta this day, but it was really cool because they put they had them in the pans. Like that was the way they served them to us. They served it
to you in the pan they cooked it in.
Yeah,
which was awesome.
And then we also got tiramisu from there as well, and it was really, really good.
The craziest thing though about that place wasn't even the food, and we don't have a clip of it, but
I forgot about that.
Just the camaraderie amongst the employees was really, really different.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point where somebody was carrying something like a stack of whatever that was way too high, way too tall, and they were going through the kitchen doors, and it had in and out, and everybody went through the in or they went through the out the way they were supposed to. They were very well trained, but the craziest part of it all was when the guy was going through the doors, and he went through the right door, but it hit the door jamb and it started to fall. And his peers all literally whipped around to help him to make sure that he didn't fall and to make sure that the stuff didn't fall. And they were all just laughing and joking and just went about their separate ways. It was
just weird. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
To see that people actually liked their jobs there. Like it was, I know that sounds like such a simple, like mundane story, but like it was so genuine. Like here, you don't see that kind of interaction between servers especially.
No,
like people are competing. And there, because there's no tipping system, really, nobody's competing. Like everybody's just working together as a team, and like they actually are enjoying their jobs and their lives. It is crazy. The coolest thing.
And it was like that everywhere we went.
Every single place we went. What were you talking about? You said we had a bad server somewhere?
Yeah, it was, I don't remember if it was Rome or Sicily, but it was the like really rustic place where like they didn't want to let us in because we didn't speak Italian.
That place was horrible.
We had to order in Italian even though we spoke English, and like we couldn't, like we literally tried, and he judged us very hard.
It was not a good
time. The food was good.
The food was okay for me, but it was good. Yours was really good.
Mine was excellent.
We'll get to that at some point. But they were very mean. But I think that in Sicily, from what I noticed, in Sicily, people were very, like, more Sicilians. It just felt different. I don't know. They weren't as friendly as the people in Rome.
No.
Just from what we experienced, they were friendly, but they were more, and maybe it's just the areas that we went to, they didn't welcome tourists as much as they did in Rome, is what I'll say, which is fine. This was our view from our patio. This was our wedding day, right? What did we just do? Oh no, that was the day after our wedding. Yeah. I guess I didn't show our wedding in here. But this was a view from our patio, and it was just gorgeous. That's actually St. Peter's Basilica. Like right, you can see it from our balcony.
So this is the Colosseum. Again, you'll see all the divots here where there used to be gold. And then this is a view of Palatine Hill, which is very close to the Colosseum. If you're going to the Colosseum, do Palatine Hill first. The Colosseum is dope, but it's short.
It was. But I don't know if that was just the tour guide because we went to the Palatine Hill first.
Maybe. I
never knew what Palatine Hill is.
There's only so much you can do at the Colosseum, and Palatine Hill is massive.
It's huge. I'd never heard of Palatine Hill before we booked that tour. So, like, I feel like a lot of people don't know about Palatine Hill. And it's literally right across the street from the Colosseum. Yeah. Like, if you're going to the Colosseum, there's no reason you shouldn't go to Palatine Hill because it's beautiful. Like, it was gorgeous, and I actually might have liked it more than the Colosseum, if only because, like, there was it was a big open space, and there was a lot of history. He showed us like a bunch of he's the one that taught us about the bricks being removed or whatever, right? So that was really cool. But then we went to the Coliseum, and I don't know what this thing is, but I thought it was
the
cool.
arch of somebody. It's some Roman
Somebody's
emperor.
arch.
They
They
all
have
built
them
arches.
everywhere.
They love arches.
Yeah, but they have that in New York City too. A different version, probably.
It's a different arch.
Yeah, and then this is the Coliseum.
And like you guys can see, there's a lot to see, but at the same time, everything down there you can't get into. It's all protected historical areas.
Yeah, it's so true. And then like if you're going from like you're only gonna see the same thing at different angles, basically.
Right.
If you go up higher, like you're gonna see it at a different angle. But with Palatine Hill, like there's so much to walk through. It was so cool.
Here's some soupli, which is this one was a
Habanero?
no, that was a capo pepe.
Oh, chow chow. And
Close
then we got some burgers. This burger joint, you guys, when I tell you these burgers were the best burgers I've ever had. They were so good. They were like based off of different pastas. I don't remember which ones we got, but they were so good.
They were excellent.
They were massive. Like you guys can kind of tell here, but you can't really tell how big they were. They were huge.
So this is the wine section at one of the grocery stores. It's a pour shot, but you can see how much wine there was, and how, I mean, that was what, 1.5 shelves worth, give or take. The most expensive wine in that area was $8.99.
Yeah, most of them were like $2.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
$8.99, and it's a good Italian wine.
We didn't buy very much because we didn't really drink while we were there either. I always get super tired when we drink, so we didn't really
drink.
drink.
And with my meds, I can't.
Yeah, so we didn't really drink, but like I'm sure the wine. I mean, we did do that wine tasting with the food tour. It like came with the food tour, which was nice. But we also didn't really drink then either.
And I didn't have any either.
Yeah, you had like a little sip.
I had a sip of one of them, and that was enough.
Yeah, but it was good. It was just really strong compared to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So this is our patio again. We just got so many videos of our patio, you guys.
I mean, it was unreal. To wake up to that every day was
amazing. Like
insane, fully insane.
Something that our photographer was telling us is that our like little Airbnb is actually used to be a laundry room. So I'll just put a little video here so you guys can kind of see it. It used to be a laundry room, and they converted it into like a building, which I thought was kind of cool. We were wondering because there was like these really tiny windows. The photographer said they're like vents for. That was another thing. Our photographer for our wedding, like he stayed with us forever as well.
He was phenomenal.
Was with us. We were only supposed to do 2 hours with him, and he ended up staying, I think, an extra 2 hours.
Yeah.
But like while we were doing the shoot, he literally changed his like time to go get his car till 9 p.m. So like that was like an extra like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap.
So in Trastevere they have I think it's John Cabot University, which is a very student abroad type of university. I don't really know the official designation of it, but there was a lot of English speakers there. So this is actually a view from our balcony at night, and that lit area in the corner, top left with the blue and the green, that's actually a party that was going on. And they do it every Friday, Saturday. Every single one.
And it's kind of funny because it's literally right next to a church. Like that's a church right next to it. That's 100%. Crazy.
But all the foreign exchange students, they all live in Trastevere. They all work out of Trastevere. They all, go to school in Trastevere. It's all right there. But to have this view every night on top of that,
it's crazy. It was so beautiful. I actually got a clip of like the one of the parties. I'll insert it now for you guys so you can see like it was like a big party down there that you can hear, and then there was also a party across the street. It might actually be this clip. But there was a party across the street where people were like singing in Italian, and it was just like everywhere you went, like you could hear. It was so beautiful.
It was crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this was just our drive to, where were we going?
I think we're going to the train
We
station.
were going to the train
Sicily,
station,
or
yeah.
to Sicily. And that's our Uber driver vigorously yelling at someone in Italian about their landlord and how they need a lawyer. We know because we translated it afterwards.
L'avvocato di mia madre mi ha mandato, dice signor Padre, io gliel'ho mandato ma non per lei, perché giustamente io per legge lo devo fare a tutti e quattro, ma era rivolta a suo fratello, non era rivolta a lei, perché sua madre mi ha detto che no, lei non c'entra nulla, quindi dice però io lo devo mandare, io ti faccio vedere che lei ci ha scritto per conoscenza, ma per la signora, per il signore Ballantonio, così così, per i buoni postali, no? Fatto sta che quando tu mi dici questo, ma qua là, invece non ha, l'avvocato mi ha detto.
And then this was my favorite part of the entire trip, besides getting married, eating, getting to see all sorts of cool things I've never seen before, all the other stuff that comes in front of it. It was the Isle of Cats, which was phenomenal.
There were cats everywhere.
There were literally cats everywhere. They had a cat sanctuary. They had little homes all over the place.
No, this was where we did the pasta cooking class.
That's where we were going. We were going to the train station for the
pasta cooking class.
Yeah. We got to learn how to make pasta from a nonna. That was dope.
That was so cool,
That
you
was
guys. It was so
That was
cool.
really
And they were amazing. We actually missed our train originally, which was absurd because we were there like an hour early.
So listen, right? Like, it's not like in America where they've got somebody out there screaming at you, is this your train? They have people who will come out, check their watch, look at you, check their watch, look at you, and get back on the train. The whole time, the sign on the train has the wrong name on it.
Yeah, like it didn't even say where we were going.
Nope.
And like the number, we had a number that we were supposed to be looking for, and it didn't say that. Literally, it drives off, and I look at Dominic and I go, was that our train?
And I'm like, no, it said I was going somewhere
We
else.
watched
And then we
everyone
check the
blow out
time,
of
and
the
it's
train.
2 minutes early, and we're like, everywhere else it's been really on time. We'll wait. 25 minutes goes by, we're like, that was the train.
Yeah. So anyway, the our Nona was amazing. We were late for her, and she was okay. However, we did take a drive with Giuseppe, I think his name was.
I think that was his name, yeah.
And if you guys,
that man, he's a speedster
yeah.
in his 80s truck.
If you guys have watched the movie was it Love and Gelato? I can't remember. There's a movie on Netflix with somebody named Uberto.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And we were calling this guy Uberto because like he was so fast and he was going through the mountains. Like we were sick by the time we got up. Oh, and then when he parked finally at this place, he goes, let's go get lunch. He gets out of the car, he goes, let's go get lunch. I look at Dominic, I'm like, these people in Italy really do be wild. Like, they really do just take their time. We're going to pick up this guy's lunch right now. And he brought us up to Nona because we were doing a pasta cooking class. He wasn't, like, I actually thought we were going somewhere to pick his lunch up. It was really funny.
Yeah, we were. We were going to make it for
To
him.
get our lunch, exactly. So I'm just going to insert a couple of clips where you guys can like hear Nona speaking to us because it was just really a cool experience because she didn't speak any English and then she had like her translator. I think it was her daughter, but she had like her translator there. Or not daughter, it might have been her granddaughter. Either way, her translator who was translating everything for her and for us because we didn't speak Italian either.
I giovani adesso si comprano subito
Tu
la
l'hai
maglietta.
ricevuto
Certo,
però.
l'ho ricevuto da
So
te.
actually,
Le suocere vanno a vedere subito se gli hanno regalato il mazzarello.
ecco.
La suocera gli ha regalato il mazzarello.
So actually, this kind of rolling pins are very particular because you should. So this is a new one, of course, because it's white. You can see it. But when all the nonnas in Palombara got married, so quindi 50 anni fa, fino a 50 anni fa,
30
diciamo,
anni fa,
till
dai.
40, 30 years ago, when you got married, they used to, so your mother used to give you this kind of rolling pin as dowry. You know? Qua.
Ma sono bravissimi questi oggi.
Ecco, se non è saying,
Madonna, oh.
today you're
Bravissimi.
great. I mean, you don't need me.
Ah, wow.
Oh no, I already messed up.
Benissimo.
You can blame it on Jazzy from North Carolina.
Grande vita però,
Don't worry,
You got that southern
Is that
charm
good?
cooking.
Okay.
Vai,
Can I do
vai.
too thin?
Oh. Oh. Shake, 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 shake. Okay.
That's one of our coolest experiences was cooking pasta with her because, I don't know, it was just cool. It felt like we were actually cooking with our grandma.
Yeah.
And then we were heading out of the town of Palermo. I don't think it was
we went to
Palermo. What was it? It started with a P, I think. I'll put it on screen, whatever it was. And then
We got pizza.
we got pizza again from that place that we got the first night
Yeah, I
we
mean,
were
it
here.
was like $6.
It was so cheap. And this was actually the night we ended up leaving. So this is the last clip for Rome.
We also ate there once.
Ate where?
We actually ate at that pizza place once.
Oh my gosh. For our wedding, we went to that pizza place and it was the best experience. I didn't put that in here. I'm going to put it in right now. The best experience ever eating at that pizza place because they were like flipping pizzas. It was our wedding night and we should have went down in our like attire because it would have been probably fun. But it was fun anyway. Like the server was amazing and like they were literally making the pizza right in front of our eyes. They were making like 20 pizzas at a time. You guys can see.
And that was the other thing too. That was another place where you had to speak Italian there. They would serve you. They knew what you were saying, but they would actually coach you to say it before they wrote it down.
That was so cool.
Which was really neat.
They actually, like at one point, Dominic was ordering a pizza, and he said one pizza or whatever pizza he was getting. He said one, and the guy goes, "So uno?" And Dominic goes, "Yeah, one." And the guy goes, "Uno?" And he like.
Uno.
Yeah, he like glared at him. But anyway, that was like one of the best experience I think we had when it came to like eating out because he was just our server was so funny.
He was really funny.
Yeah, he was great. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this video up here. Stay tuned. If you are not already subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button because we still have all of our trip to Taormina and Modica, which was in Sicily.
You're not subscribed?
If you're not subscribed, you gotta do it. You gotta subscribe. But we still have our trip to there, and then we also still have, I'm actually probably gonna do like a tip video for you guys, for any of you that are going to Sicily or Italy, or even just overseas in general. We got so many tips prior to going that some of them like we didn't have to use, but they were like really helpful tips that like made us feel more secure while we were there. We didn't feel as nervous about anything, you know. There's just different tips that I got before in different Facebook groups I'm in. So I'm going to put a list together and I will share it with you guys in another video. I love you guys and I will see you in the next one. And
bye.
so will he. You will be there for the next one.
I will.
Yeah, Taormina, Sicily. We're filming it. If you
I have to do this again.
Yeah, we do, honestly. You guys, it was 12 minutes of footage, and like it took us like an hour to film this.
All right,
but,
so I'll be back if you subscribe.
yeah.
And if you don't subscribe, that's mean because I'll still be here.
Yeah, he will. He'll still be here because you guys, we're not going to know prior to filming.
Well, that and I live here.
Okay, you guys, we'll see you in the next one.
I mean, that's
That's basically what we're saying.
Live here.
We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.